So, in your spoken English class, we are going to start our group discussion. The topic is logic will get you from A to Z and imagination will get you everywhere. Let's start.
So, good evening, everyone. Today we got a very interesting topic. It is a quote by Albert Einstein that logic will get you from A to Z, but imagination will get you everywhere. So, let me explain this quote by myself that logic is to, by using logic, you can navigate the world logically and this is the main foundation of reason, telling reason, analysis, and problem solving. But when we come to imagination, it is actually what fires our soul. It has no limit. Imagination is to think with your thoughtful mind. You can think everything, whatever you want to. In one word, you can imagine. You can imagine. You can. Desire what you want to do in future or what you are looking for or what your goal can be, that is imagination. Through imagination you can do or you can go anywhere from here to there and but by logic you can only get from point A to point Z. That means that there are some limits in logic. While you are telling someone, while you are making someone understand about logic, you have some boundaries also. But imagination has no boundaries. It makes creativity. It inspires you to go beyond the box and to do something other than ordinary, or it make you get into extraordinary things. The imagination is the thing that makes people creative, and by imagination, people learn to use their thoughtful mind, and that is the main thing which is needed to develop a country or develop something which is useful for the country's future. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with this topic. It's a famous quote by Albert Einstein that logic can get us from A to Z, and imagination can go to everywhere. Every single thing starts with imagination. From ancient times, how the fire invented to now, till now, every invention at first have an imagination. And what is logic? Logic is when we can apply it in our practical life, and we are successful in it, then it is a logic. Then it is a logical thing. Imagination can get us everywhere. Like I am thinking, I will get a very high marks in my examination, or I can eat many things at a time. But in reality, I cannot get like 500 out of 500 in my examination, or like we in practical we always can't reach our imagination, but we can imagine. We have the full right to imagine everything. But logic is when we are but logic is when we are doing it practically, when we know that yeah, we can do it in our practical life. Like I can get 400 up marks in my exam, but 500 out of 500 it's our imagination. So when imagination come into practical life and we do it successfully, then logic and imagination both mixed up, and we can invent a thing.
Hello everyone, today our topic is logic will get you from A to Z and imagination will get you everywhere. So at first I tell that this is not a properly statement of Albert Einstein. Someone tell that
the actual statement of Albert Einstein. This is imagination is not is more important than knowledge, and someone attribute this quote from that the main quote. So now I tell about this topic. What is logic? Logic is a step-by-step guide, and this is a structure also. And by this, we solve many type of problem. This can help us to solve it, and this is very important to all of us. By using this, we increase our problem solving skill, and by using this, we all know that in every business world, we need a power that is decision making power, which is very much important not only in the business world, in every working world. So by using this, we grow up our this power. Now I come to the main part of this topic, which is imagination. So now I tell what is imagination. Imagination is a power of mind which creates a mental image of something. Now we all know that Albert Einstein also discovered the theory of relativity, which is very much important for all of us and for our universe also. To discover this, he also used this imagination power, and this made Einstein so brilliant as a physicist. And I think in the universe, all great person use these two things at first: focus, imagination, and second is uh, logic. Uh, Imagination is to think about a topic properly, and logic is to solve it properly. And at last, I tell that logic is like a map which indicates a right way, and imagination is a compass which indicates the right track and new horizon in front of us. And together, this will make a powerful combination which is very important to get success. That's all.
Yes. Um, this quote was told by Albert Einstein, who was a great physicist of the world, probably the greatest scientist of this century. And he told this thing, and it is very meaningful. At first, the first part of this quote, which tells about that logic is the A to Z, uh, means the logic is the thing by which we can solve many problems in our life and many problems of the material and imaginary world. And it helps. That means that it helps us to solve the problem. And imagination is boundless. There is no bound for imagination. Every invention is standing on the imagination of every scientist. Like I can give an example that when the Wright brothers invented the airplane, they imagined a vehicle which could fly in the sky, and from this imagination, got the idea of inventing such a vehicle which will fly, and that means the imagination is the um, stage on which the logic will work. And the Einstein Einstein's thought about the imagination was very beautiful. He told that imagination is the tool by which we can invent many things, and we can change the material world. And so logic is like about knowledge. We don't know the unthinkable until we imagine new things. uh, that's why in the past time, people are not be able to think that in future we are able to go to the moon or outer space, but nowadays it's possible. But the thing is, logic is limited because of we don't we use logic that kind of things that we know. We can't use logic that we don't know, like something new. Uh, when
any person try to do something new invention or new creation, they are puzzled at the time because they have no idea to how to do that thing. But in that time, they if they use their imagination power, they have a chance to do this in a certain way. So that's why logic is a limited way to do your do to show your creativeness, but imagination is the powerful thing to do several kind of things. So that's all.
This quote is said by one of the greatest physicists in our century, who is Albert Einstein. So, this quote highlights the importance of both logic and imagination in our lives. Logic helps us to solve any problem with a systematic approach. We can able to solve that particular problem by stepwise procedure from point A to Z, and it is very crucial for to build up the structural thinking and logical thinking in the human brains, and understanding about the physical significance and physical phenomena in our world which is happening around us. On the other hand, imagination opens up endless possibilities. It allows us to dream, create, or innovate new ideas beyond what exists already. So, by combining both of them, logic with imagination, we can achieve great things, such as we can able to solve the complex issues and problems with creative approach, and envisioning the future which have not been thought of before. So, this balance, logic with imagination, is the main key for progressing in the future and to innovate in in all aspects of the life. That's all.
For doing something, imagination and logic both are required. Like I am giving an example, on the time of invention of aeroplane, at first scientists they understood the way of birds flying. Uh, at first they understood the way that how what kind of mechanisms are happening on the time of birds flying. They are moving their wings to push the air, and after that they are able to fly in the sky. So after understanding the full mechanism, they imagine that if we are if we can make a aeroplane, then what kind of things we have to do, and what will be the main parts of the aeroplane, and on which mechanism it will fly. So based on this thing, they invented aeroplane. And why logic and imagination both are required? Because on the time of understanding the mechanisms, it is already they are watching. It is already in front of their eyes. They are having full experience of it. They can understand it very easily. This is because it is the easiest explanation. And what is imagination? Whenever they are uh, uh, when they understood the way of the birds flying, after that they imagine that if the aeroplane will fly, then it will fly in this way. So they imagined all the things in their brain, and on that basis they created aeroplane. And in this way, all the inventions are happening. So imagination and logic both are required for any new invention.
So, guys, you have discussed on this topic very well. The topic is logic will get you from A to Z, and imagination will get you everywhere. So, this quote is told by Albert Einstein, the great scientist. It reveals that logic is bound by the constraint what is already known and understood. On the other hand, imagination is a fuel that ignites the creativity and innovation. Guys, you may tell that without system, how can we invent anything? Definitely. But before invention, you have already mentioned that we have to imagine. Because through imagination, we can go everywhere. In this regard, you have mentioned so many inventions. I am also mentioning another invention. James Watt, I think, invented steam engine. So how it was invented, very peculiar. In a kettle, there was water, and kettle lid was already covered, and it was on the oven. And James Watt, when it was boiling, James Watt watched the smoke is evaporating, is coming out from the kettle knoll, outside side knoll. Then suddenly he imagined that if I obstruct this, what will happen? In some paper or some hard thing, he put in the gap of kettle and it forced out. Then he understood such power can be. So how much power is having in steam? So on that imagination he bring into the system. Then it become logic. Before that it was imagination. When it came into the system, then steam engine was invented. So this is the thinking I am going to tell you, that only imagination will help you to go everywhere. There is no boundary. But unless you bring into the system, it will not be possible to invent. After invention, you will get the logic. How it is done? You have mentioned the Wright brothers plane invention. That is also after invention they had to give the logic. What is your logic? This is logic. So then after invention, logic will come to you. And what is already invented, that logic is before you. And that is the known thing you are solving. You are solving a math. The formula is here. On that basis, you are doing Pythagoras formula. And if you want to invent formula another, then you have to imagine. After that, the formula will be invented. That's all.